Hello and welcome to Last Level Press. I am Mr. Black and this is another mod spotlight. Tonight we are taking a look at the aptly named Honest Hearts Hideout, a player home mod for Fallout New Vegas, or more specifically for its DLC Honest Hearts. This adds a bunker-style player home underneath the centermost ranger outpost in the Zion Valley, located at the map marker The Airy, which I don't actually recall whether or not that was located in the base Honest Hearts, or whether or not this is a new addition. Either way, the top level is your rather standard ranger tower. Just a couple of assorted items up here. Bed, ranger hat, food, med pack, whatever. Underneath, however, is the home proper, located through this hatch. Now, ordinarily the door will be closed, but since I've already poked around in here, it is already open. However, you can lock or unlock it as you see fit. That's more or less there just for flavor purposes. The home is fully nav meshed, so you can feel free to bring whatever companions you have, be them from base Honest Hearts, which is usually all you can bring around in terms of companions, or if you have other mods that allow you to take companions to the Zion Valley, you can bring them here as well. As you can see, I've got my usual companion Farsight. Lights are toggleable, and all of the real amenities, both real and imagined, are here. All of the crafting functionality that you might want is present, as well as safe storage. There are also a few free weapons provided. Now, some of these, specifically the hunting shotgun, really, but to a point also the hunting rifle, as well as all of the modifications therefore, may be seen as a little bit overpowered to just hand to players, especially because there's no quest associated with gaining entry to this home. I don't really mind it, only a tad, simply because with Honest Hearts having its 100-pound weight limit to even get here, most players are going to have to part with a few rather critical weapons simply to meet the weight requirements. So if you know that this is waiting for you, you can kind of leave your shotgun or your long-range rifle at home and just know that you can grab one here. So you don't necessarily have to cull quite so much of your carried equipment. Speaking of weapons, this mod does actually provide a unique... I'm going to grab the ammo first, because sometimes if you grab... Well, okay, never mind. Whatever you grab, just the other one will drop. But anyway, this adds a tranquilizer rifle. Would help if I was on the weapons tab. And it adds a very simple effect. It's just a 100% paralysis. If you land a shot, it does a whopping 1 damage. But enemies will just fall stiff as a board as soon as you pop them with this, allowing you or your companions to just finish them off at your leisure. So it's a nice, flavorful little weapon, and of course, as you can see, it is compatible with Millennia's weapon retexture pack, so it looks quite nice. I might have liked to have seen a unique model for it, but that's certainly not a must-have thing for this kind of weapon. So let's move on a little farther down to the kitchen area. Again, safe storage. There are no sorters, which I would have liked to have seen, but from what I understand, this mod creator is only so well-versed with scripting, so for now you'll just have to resort even to hand sorting your items. Several of these items aren't really usable, like the terminal here, but several of them are. You can use the safe, the My First Infirmary, thankfully, as well as the med boxes within the infirmary. And it's also got an interesting little drink system here. You don't so much retrieve them or store them as you do buy them. I can tell by the way that this is made, it's using the scripting for crafting to instead sort of quote-unquote buy more food with sort of an infinite supply, and also to get access to the control room of this bunker. Don't do what I did the first time and accidentally just go with 6 of them, because I'm just used to doing that with crafting things. You only need 1 key. Don't spend all of your money on 5 extra keys or more just to get into this room. Inside are the mod's optional functions, really, which include indoor trees, a jukebox for the armory, a pool table for the parlor, and Western theme items like the rug and, you know, cactuses and whatnot. So it just kind of spices things up, makes it seem a little bit more lived in. Personal taste, I don't much like the trees in here. I just think it looks a little goofy, because how on earth would they be growing indoors? But again, that's just me. Adding little things like the rock out here to make it really seem like this is just embedded in the mountain is a cool touch, and more of the decor does make it feel a bit more lived in. Down here in the armory, jukebox, which is a strange inclusion, seeing as in Zion Valley you don't get radio stations. It just kind of glows. So cool, but not really all that functional. And I haven't found a way, like if you had modded in radio stations, you know, you can't make this play them. So again, odd choice to include, but it's there nonetheless. And that really about wraps the Honest Hearts Hideout. To me, as much as it is a little bit on the limited side, it's still a must-have, because it is the only house mod, or home mod if you prefer, that I have found for Zion Valley that is really respectable and worth paying any attention to. Because most of the others are either not very well made, or are just like a lot of others where they're just massive, massive bunkers that don't really have any practicality. I much prefer little things like this that actually feel a bit more real. So otherwise, the other thing to note with this is that this is sort of a 2-for-1. There is another mod that is a sister to this. It's the Honest Hearts Hideout Mojave Edition that is made by the same author, I believe, and adds an identical underground bunker to this to Eastern Freeside. So if you really like the layout of this, but don't necessarily want to travel all the way to Zion to use it as your player home, you can grab that mod. It does still require the Honest Hearts DLC because of some of the resources involved, but other than that, it's a good little kind of lore-friendly, or at least semi-lore-friendly, player home to use for the Mojave. So, that wraps the Honest Hearts Hideout. I am Mr. Black. This is Last Level Press. Thank you all for joining us for tonight's mod spotlight. I look forward to seeing you again in future episodes. Good luck, good gaming, and Godspeed.